Well, one of my stories is that storms are going to be on the increase the next couple days, and I know that brings up the obvious question is, could any of those storms be strong or severe? Well, the Storms Prediction Center does believe that some could, and I actually agree in this one. So I felt like this would make a good Facebook Live video. Thunderstorms here on the increase the next couple days, and the question is, could any of those be strong to severe? I will also mention, guys, that I'm going to touch a little bit on eclipse glasses tonight, and just kind of answer any questions. What we have found this week is that a lot of people have bought eclipse glasses, and I think that a lot of people got scammed. And it is kind of disturbing that this happened, but I can tell you guys that planning for this eclipse has been going on a long time. And when we started to plan for this, one of the things that we thought about is that there's going to be a massive demand to get eclipse glasses in our area. And so what we did is we reached out to some companies to find out about eclipse glasses, and we quickly found out that this was going to be frauded by people badly. And here's an example. One of the companies we reached out to offered us eclipse glasses at a really unbelievably good price. We asked if the eclipse glasses were certified safe. So NASA requires ISO 2 certification, and what we were told is that these aren't, but they can print whatever we want on the side of the glasses. Now, if you just think about that for a second, this is your eyes. This is your safety. And if you look at the sun and you don't have proper protection, you can go blind. And what we were told by one of these vendors is, oh, we can print whatever you want on the side of the glasses, even though these are not ISO 2 certified. Kind of realized quickly that there are some absolute scam artists out there that think it's okay to play around with people's eyesight. So the bottom line is I can tell you guys that we bought our glasses from one of the vendors that is on NASA's certification list. So you can be assured that if you got our glasses, you're safe. But just kind of a disturbing scenario where people are playing around with something like a total solar eclipse, making fake glasses thinking, you know what, I'm going to make a quick buck here. Who cares about the people's eyesight? It's kind of dirty. It's kind of disgusting. Nonetheless, obviously there are some people out there that think it's okay to make money under, doesn't matter what the cost is. So just mention it because in our experience as we went through this, we found out there were some shady characters out there. So I will tell you guys that our eclipse glasses are going to be available at the Kentucky State Fair. I can also tell you guys that we're in limited supply. We went through a huge volume of eclipse glasses at Heine Brothers. We kept back just some of the supply, but I can tell you guys that a massive amount of our supply went at Heine Brothers. That said, if you guys are looking for eclipse glasses, we will have them out at the State Fair starting on Thursday, and it's while supplies last. We have a plan to try to make them last as long as possible, but we'll see. So that's with respect to eclipse glasses. Tonight's topic is going to be severe weather threat. So the Storms Prediction Center has us under a severe weather threat for Thursday, and honestly, I actually completely agree on that one. I do believe that we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms in our area. So I felt like that was going to be the best thing that we could do in our Facebook Live video tonight from a topic perspective. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to discuss that. I know that there's going to be a lot of questions with regard to storms. I know, secondly, that there's going to also be a lot of eclipse questions, and I will give you guys time to ask your questions. But that's our topic of discussion tonight. Lastly, before we jump into the video, we're sitting at 96 consecutive nights above 1,000 shares. 96 above 1,000. That is a mammoth number. I'm trying to make it so that on Monday when I do my Facebook Live video from Hopkinsville during the total solar eclipse, that would be 100 days above 1,000 shares. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here tonight. So we're sitting at 41 shares right now. I need you guys to tell me, with 265 eyeballs in here, can we make it over 1,000 shares? Thumbs up if you're going to commit to 1,000 shares tonight, which would require 5 shares from everybody in here. Thumbs down if you think we're going to end the streak of 8 months in a row above 1,000 shares. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I'm seeing a bunch of thumbs ups. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up flying across the screen. I'm seeing a lot of people that are committing to at least 5 shares per person on tonight's Facebook Live video. All right, so you guys, let's do it. Show me. Let's not talk about it. Let's show me. 97 nights in a row above 1,000 shares. Get started on that. Let's jump into our topic of discussion. So our topic tonight is severe weather potential. So we look at the ingredients that are required to generate organized severe weather. And there are 3 ingredients that must be present, whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter, doesn't matter. You have to have, number 1, fuel. And in the summer, honestly, almost every day there's fuel to support strong to severe thunderstorms. And it's because it's generated by warmth and high dew points. And we've got that. You can feel it as you step outside. And this is the area that's normally lacking in summertime scenarios, the strong mid-level winds. Somewhere from the surface to 6 miles above the ground, you need to have around 35 to 40 mile an hour winds. Now, if you don't have that, what happens is the storm, and you can see I've depicted a little storm here on the right. If there's no mid-level flow, the air goes straight up and straight down. And the reason that limits severe storm potential is because those storms will pulse up and down, and they never last long enough to support organized severe weather. And the last one is obvious. Without a forcing mechanism, you don't have thunderstorms. Without thunderstorms, simply put, you don't have severe weather. So let's go through this ingredient list and see what's present. From a forcing perspective, look, there's virtually nothing in our area. There is actually one little shower along the Jefferson-Spencer County line, but that's it. We go out to the west and you see a large area of low pressure in the western part of the U.S. And this is actually going to be our play later on in the week. You can see, and I'll switch over to the water vapor imagery here, and you can see the big twirl within the atmosphere that's in the western part of the U.S. So this low, as it finally ejects across our area, will be our storm producer for Thursday. And you can see out ahead of that, there are little weak disturbances within the atmosphere that have to move across our area. And that will be our series of storms. What you'll notice when I go to the data, it's not just one cluster of storms that moves across the area. So let's look at fuel. I mentioned that summer is the time of fuel. There's almost always a lot of fuel in the summer. This is looking at the time here. We're looking at Thursday morning. By Thursday at midday, you can see the fuel values get from about 1,500 to 3,000 units of instability. Now, the question is that enough to support organized severe weather? And the answer is, yeah, that's easily enough. It's not mammoth, but it's definitely enough instability. And you can see in particular, as we look towards the heat of the afternoon, you have some instability values that approach 3,000 to 4,000 units of instability. This is easily enough to support organized severe weather. Those fuel values wane as we go into Friday night, and they're gone as we move towards Friday morning. So the next question is, does our wind energy meet criteria to support organized severe weather? In the morning, you can see the winds about a mile above the ground are near 25 miles an hour, but you'll notice as we go towards the afternoon, they come up just a touch. And I'll tell you, 6 miles above the ground, they're just a pinch stronger than this. So these winds are marginally supportive of organized severe. With some fuel, I do think that you've got a scenario that could support a couple of stronger thunderstorms. And at midnight on Thursday night into Friday morning, we continue to see the wind energy that's enough to support organized severe. So let's take a look at advanced track. And what you're going to see here is that wave scenario. This is Thursday morning, and you can see a couple of these areas the thunderstorms have generated. And I really feel like on Thursday that's kind of a story. Maybe a wave early on in the day. You can see advanced track showing a few strong storms as we go into early afternoon. And then you'll notice as we look, and let me go back here, you'll notice as we look towards the afternoon, you can see along the front, advanced track is indeed generating some of those strong to severe thunderstorms across our area. At 8 p.m., it's generating some strong along the front in the western part of our area, and then those will slide across our area as we go through the evening. Are we talking about full coverage on our potential for severe weather? Absolutely not. There's nothing within the data that shows everybody would see severe weather. In fact, within the data, if anything, you would probably be most accurate as describing it as a couple of strong to severe. And you can see they start to wind down as we go towards midnight, and then the front moves across our area into early Friday morning. So bottom line is we'll go back through that, and you can see advanced track popping some of those stronger thunderstorms across our area in the 6 to around midnight time frame. Again, I don't think everybody sees severe in this scenario, and what you'll see from the Storms Prediction Center is they're actually going with a 5% probability of severe. You know, the bottom line is I think a 5% is probably appropriate. What that means is, you know, a couple could contain damaging winds and hail. It means we're not talking about a major style scenario. Somebody asked, is there anything in the data that supports a tornado threat? And the answer is there is not. So let's move from here. I want to quickly address one thing with respect to the total solar eclipse. And let me show you guys a graphic I've put together so you can understand what to expect in your area. The line that comes across the U.S. here, the red engulfs the 100% totality line. And I wanted to show you guys quickly what we are talking about within our area. So what you'll notice is the eclipse covers the entire United States. Even as far south as Miami gets within an 80% of the sun going dark. That said, there's a big difference in this one between 90% and 100. And you can see the 90% line going through southern Indiana, where the 100% area is in the southern part of Kentucky. And I wanted to give you guys an opportunity quickly to see what to expect from your area. So what do these percentage values represent? What they represent is how much of the sun in your area will go dark. So in Seymour, the sun will be about 94% dark, or 6%, just a sliver of the sun would be present. You can't look at 6% of the sun without eclipse glasses. That's important to note. But you can see, looking around the area, Jasper gets to 97% dark. Litchfield nears 99%, which is not fully dark. Columbia gets to 98.7, and then you can see the blue line here is the path of the center of totality. You must get within the two red lines to be in totality for the total solar eclipse. In Hopkinsville, it peaks around local time for them, 1:35 Central, or 1:25 Central or 2:25 Eastern. And for Louisville, this peaks near 2:27:40, 27 p.m. and 40 seconds is when we will peak at 95.8%. Also worth mentioning one more time that at 96% in Louisville, you can't look directly at it, ever. Even when we're in the peak, you cannot look directly at it without eclipse glasses. So you guys have to know that if you're in Louisville and you're going to try to look at this, you can't unless you have glasses, or you will damage your eyes. Now, damaging your eyes isn't something that you just rub your eye and it's better tomorrow. It's something you live with for the rest of your life. So please don't take the risk. The other thing is that the optometrists, the eye specialists told us that your retina can take on damage without feeling any pain because there are no nerve receptors in your retina. So this means you could be looking at it and not even know that you're causing damage to your eyes. So it is very, very important that you guys play it safe. Don't mess around with this one, and make sure you have your approved eclipse glasses. They must be approved, or you're taking a risk with your eyes, and like I said, it is simply not worth it. So what I want to do, guys, is open it up to questions, eclipse-related, severe weather potential, anything in that regard. Remember, guys, we're aiming for 1,000 shares for the 97th night in a row. We're only at 370. So you guys really have your work cut out for you. You got 15 minutes, and we need over 600 shares. That means if everybody shares the video 4 times, we'll make it. Guys, step on the gas. I don't want to come up short tonight for the first time since January. Let's open it up to questions. Somebody asked about a welding hood. All I can tell you is that if they're not ISO 2 certified, which I know welding helmets are not, you're taking a risk. And I know I've had a welding helmet on and looked at it before, and I can tell you having a welding helmet on and having the eclipse glasses on, I could actually see some light coming through the welding helmet. With eclipse glasses, if you're just looking in a room, you can't see anything. I mean, literally, you can't see anything. So I just don't think it's worth the risk. Anything severe Friday night? Joe is asking for football. I don't think so. Judy's saying they're all sold out. And the truth is they are. All I can say is that I tried my best to make sure that everybody knew that the demand was going to be massive. I really tried. And I tried to make sure that everybody knew if you didn't get to Heine Brothers quickly that these things would go. And we got word today that at Heine Brothers the eclipse glass is sold out. And this is one of those scenarios that waiting was a bad idea because we knew the demand was going to be massive. We knew it. I did everything I could to try to let everybody know to get these as quickly as possible and get to a Heine Brothers. So I am sorry if you guys missed. I wish there was something I can do. All I can tell you is we do have some left, but they're going to be out at the State Fair when we're there from Thursday through Monday. So if you're looking to get the WDRB glasses, you need to go to the State Fair, and I would suggest when we open our booth on Thursday to get there because these are going to go quick. Chris is asking if I know anything about anybody else's glasses. I don't. But what I did is I posted on my Facebook page a little bit earlier every manufacturer that is verified as safe per NASA and eclipse.aas.org. And if your glasses are not made by one of those, they are not tested and verified as safe. So it is very, very important to make sure that you check. Mendy with 5 shares. Thank you. By the way, guys, after you share the video 5 times each, comment down below so I can give you a shout out. You guys deserve a shout out if you can give me 5 shares. Jackie said her sister got their glasses at Heine Brothers yesterday and a delicious caramel vanilla iceberg coffee. I appreciate you guys going out there and supporting. Teresa's saying I did try to tell everybody. I did my best. I really did. I feel bad that people are without glasses, but I tried so hard. David's asking about our thoughts for the weather on the eclipse. Anybody interested? Me talking? Give me a thumbs up if you guys want me to talk about cloud cover potential on the total solar eclipse for August 21st. Anybody want an eclipse quick forecast while we're in here? Seeing some thumbs up. Eclipse forecast, anybody? Looking for an eclipse forecast, thumbs up. Anybody want an eclipse forecast? All right, since you guys are throwing the thumbs up, let me show you cloud cover from the data at the time of the total solar eclipse. I'm going to show you the American model and I will show you the European computer model. So this is valid Monday at around 2 p.m. And you can see within the data here it actually gives you cloud conditions. It shows a few cumulus clouds in Louisville, a few cumulus clouds in southern Indiana. It shows clear skies in Bowling Green, and it shows only a few clouds in the Hopkinsville area. And GFS definitively right now is showing that you're going to get a partly to mostly sunny sky. That was the prior run. I actually haven't looked at the current mid-day run, and what I'll show you is it actually indicates basically the same thing on this run, is a partly to mostly sunny sky on Monday for the total solar eclipse. Looking at the European computer model, and I got to tell you, the European is one of the more accurate when it comes to mid-level flow, and you can see at total solar eclipse time right here, it shows some broken clouds in southwest Kentucky. It shows a partly to mostly sunny sky Louisville into southern Indiana. But I think that this is actually a legitimate scenario for the southern part of our area into southern Kentucky, and that is partly cloudy skies. Now, here's the... In Louisville, is partly cloudy good enough? Absolutely. And it's because we never go into totality. Why does that matter? Well, totality is this 2 minute or so, in Hopkinsville it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds, where the moon entirely covers the sun. And that allows you to see the corona. Now, if that occurs in between clouds, that 2 minutes and 40 seconds, you're beautiful. It's perfect. If one of those clouds just happens to pass by in that 2 minutes and 40 seconds of totality you'd never get to see the corona. So is partly cloudy good enough for places that don't go into totality? Absolutely. Partly cloudy does make me a little nervous in the areas that do go into totality for the answer, for the reason I just mentioned. My feeling, bottom line, is partly cloudy skies for the total solar eclipse. And we're going to have to watch just to see percentage cloud cover, in particular for the totality area. So 30 shares, I appreciate that from Cindy. Thank you. Guys, after you share the video more than 5 times, comment down below. Let me give you a shout out for that work. Our goal is to get to 1,000 shares for the 97th night in a row. No, I'm actually being serious. We have done 96 nights in a row above 1,000 shares, which is ridiculous. That's unbelievable. If we get to 1,000 tonight, it'll be 97 nights in a row. And I need you guys to share away. We're at 561. We've got 10 minutes. Guys, I need you to double up those shares. I need basically another 3 or so shares from everybody in here and we'll make it. Brent with 7 shares. Thank you, Brent. Jackie's asking about, in totality, are we able to see some of the planets? Venus you will be able to see, yes. Teresa's asking where we are in our shares. We're 561 right now, so you guys have some work to do. 5 shares from Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. 10 shares from Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. Stacy with 11. Thank you. Lisa with a share from Tampa. Thank you, Lisa. By the way, you will be at for the eclipse. Percentage-wise, about 80% covered. So you'll still have 20% of the sun left over. Debbie's saying the moon will cover the sun for 2 minutes and 40 seconds at 2:37 in Louisville. The answer is, it is 2 minutes and 37 seconds of totality in Hopkinsville. Louisville never goes into totality. So what that means is, since we're not in totality, that 2 minutes and 40 seconds doesn't apply. Louisville will never go, and Louisville, out of this one, you will never see the total solar eclipse, ever. 5 shares from Todd. Thank you, Todd. Let me give you a thumbs up, by the way. Barbara's now at 8 shares. Thank you, Barbara. 25 shares from Randall. I love that. Thank you, Randall. Chris with 20 shares. Mendy with another 20 shares. I love it, guys. Thank you. Let me update you on where we are in our shares. Chris with 5 shares. Thank you, Chris. Matthew with 5 shares. Love it. Thank you, Matthew. Elaine is asking if it's going to be a cloudy day. No, that's not what I said. I said partly cloudy. Partly to mostly sunny Louisville, partly cloudy in southern Kentucky. Updating you. Let me see when the Facebook post updates. 6 shares from Rick. Terry asked a great question. In Kentucky, when's the last time we saw a total solar eclipse? So you're probably thinking, Mark, I remember. You know, when I was a kid in the 70s, I saw an eclipse. You're right. In the late 70s, you did see an eclipse. It was a partial solar eclipse. So when is the last time that Kentucky saw a total solar eclipse? 1849. No joke. The last time that somebody who was a resident of Kentucky, living in Kentucky, actually watched a total solar eclipse was 1849. That's incredible, isn't it? The 1975 event was partial, so it was not a total solar eclipse, but the last time a total solar eclipse went through the Commonwealth was 1849. Lisa's asking when the next one will be. So the last total solar eclipse was over 150 years ago. The next one after this, 7 years. And that's incredible. A total solar eclipse comes through Kentucky and Indiana in 2024. So if you guys have your glasses, keep them, because you're going to need them again in 2024. Donald's asking about traffic for Hopkinsville. We will not be covering traffic for it, but I can tell you, as someone that's going to be down there, I am preparing for the worst. And what I mean by that is you need to prepare for what's going to be probably some of the worst traffic you've ever seen. You're talking about a town of 30,000. That's going to have 300,000 people in there, and it is going to be nuts. The Bluegrass Parkway, I think you can imagine, is going to be brutal trying to get out of there. Let me update you guys on our shares. We're at 704. So guys, you've only got 5 minutes left to get us above 1,000. We need about 300 more shares. To make it safe, I'd like to get to 400. But you guys got to do some work here. We need several shares per person to get over 1,000, and you guys need to be sharing Now, frequently, often, and stepping on the gas. Let's not come up short tonight. Somebody asking if there was a eclipse in the late 70s. Partial. Big difference between partial. Partial and total, it's a world of difference. A partial, you can never look at, even in totality. A total solar eclipse in its peak, you can if you're in totality. Danny's asking, will you see it from Jeffersonville? You will. You never will go into totality. That means you never get to see the corona of the sun. You will not get to experience the brilliance of the total solar eclipse unless you are within the red lines behind me, and you can see the red line going through southern Kentucky. Specifically, you have to get south of Litchfield, Columbia. Bowling Green's in there, Paducah's in there, Hopkinsville, Madisonville, all in there. But southern Indiana, you are not going into totality. Tracy with 10 shares, thank you. Chris is asking, will you see it from Indy? Now, about 90.5% in Indy. The 2024, you go right through the middle. Tina's asking, how is it going to happen so soon in 2024? It's just the random draw. These don't happen any number of years. So what I mean by that is you don't see a total solar eclipse every X years. It's just when you have the oddity of the sun being directly, the moon pathing directly in front of the sun to cast that shadow on the earth, you get a total solar eclipse. It must be during a new moon. It cannot be, let's say, during a full moon. You only get total solar eclipses during a new moon. But when that happens and everything lines up perfectly, you get a total. Mason with 25 shares. Thank you, Mason. 30 more shares from Mendy. Thank you, Mendy. Let me update you guys on where we are on those shares so we can see if we're going over 1,000 for the 27th consecutive night. Or excuse me, 97th consecutive night. Let me update you guys briefly while I wait for Facebook to update rather. Please continue to share, but let me tell you guys what I'm going to be discussing on WDRB News at 10. 10 o'clock, top of the hour tonight. We actually had a couple showers fire today, one in South Jefferson County. Tomorrow is the first day of school for JCPS. Number one, welcome back, JCPS. And I do think we could see some thunderstorms for your first day back. So I'm going to time out parents when to expect those storms so you can plan around them. I'll let you know whether the kids need any rain gear as they head out to school tomorrow morning. That's on WDRB News at 10. WDRB News at 10:22, severe weather threat posted for Thursday. I mentioned my thoughts, new data rolls. I will update you on my thoughts on WDRB News at 10:22 of severe weather potential for Thursday. And then as we move into the weekend, I do have a rain chance for weekend. I'll talk about when that's most likely, and we're going to dive into latest data based on cloud cover for the total solar eclipse on WDRB News at 10:37. So remember, set your clock. That way, I know you guys are busy, have a lot of things going on. If you tune in on WDRB News at 10, 10:22, and 10:37, then you guys can get that weather information with the topics that I just mentioned. Guys, we're at 917 shares. We got 90 seconds left. You guys need to be stepping on the gas on the shares or we're going to come up short. Somebody said Martha is being ignored. I'm definitely not ignoring anybody, so let me go back and see if I can find Martha's question. Martha, I'm looking, trying my best. You guys have to understand that when you're doing a video, all it shows is the 4 most recent comments. So I apologize, but it's impossible sometimes with things scrolling so fast to catch every single comment. Brittany's asking when cold air is coming. Nothing in the next 7 days. Elaine saying hello in here tonight. Elaine, hope you're having a good night. Guys, share away. I don't want to come up short. We're now 60 seconds until the end of the Facebook Live video. Our goal is to make it over 1,000 shares for the 97th consecutive night. Think about that. It's taken us 8 months to get to this. Let's not drop the ball tonight and come up short. 8 shares from Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Cindy with 75 shares. I love seeing that. That's one of our tops, by the way, 75 from Cindy. Cindy, if you get people calling you saying, what's going on? Why are you sharing so much? Just tell them you're doing, we got to get over 1,000. We don't want to start over again. We are now closing in on 1,000. We've got about under a minute left on the video, so hopefully you guys can make it so we get up there tonight. Storms planned for tonight in Louisville. Crystal, we saw a shower, but that was really about it. Nunu with 10 shares, thank you. Let me look at our share number here to see if we're up over. I'd love to. And by the way, I will be doing a Facebook video so you guys know from Hopkinsville during totality. So if you don't get to make it down there, we'll talk. You guys will see what I'm seeing because it's obviously, I've never seen one. I'm really curious. I've done so much as a storm chaser over my life, but this is something that I've always wanted to see, and I'm going to get my opportunity. So we are at 1,181 shares, guys. 97 nights in a row, above 1,000 shares. I will mention, let me bring Rick over here for a second. So Mr. DeLuca has something special planned for his Facebook Live video tonight. So Mr. DeLuca, there's a lot of people looking for eclipse glasses. We know that the demand is massive. Right. So as I understand, you may be helping a couple people with eclipse glasses tonight.
Maybe a couple. I kind of took two and I stashed them away, and I was like, all right.
How'd you get those?
I don't know, some little eclipse glass fairy hooked me up, maybe.
So what's the story?
So I have a pair left, so 2 glasses left. And tonight at around 10:45, 10:50 or so, I'm going to give away that pair, and I will mail them to you immediately because the days are, coming to a close here. So I want to get them out there, so hopefully they should be there by the end of the week. But around 10:45, 10:50ish, I will be giving away a pair of eclipse glasses.
So Rick's going to give away total solar eclipse glasses, the WDRB glasses, around 10:45 to 10:50. How do you know when he does the video? Follow him on Facebook. When he starts his live video, he'll be giving them away. So if you guys need glasses, you got a chance to get them from Rick DeLuca.
It's like a new form of currency now. I mean,
it really
there's
is.
No more money.
It's nuts. So head over to Rick DeLuca's Facebook page, guys. Click like. He'll be doing a giveaway around 10:45 where he will give a pair of glasses away to a lucky viewer of his Facebook Live video tonight, and he'll explain during the video what you have to do to get those glasses. All right, guys, I'm going to rest my voice here a little. You guys are awesome. We made it up over 1,000 shares for the 97th night in a row. Give your guys your own self some likes and loves. You guys are awesome. Every night you guys always show up and support me on Facebook. Remember, TV is how we put the food on the table, so please support me on TV, and I will see you guys on WDRB News at 10, 10:22, and 10:37. Continue to like and share the video even after it ends.